Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed more. The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show Live. I am the big guy Ryback. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Starting the show off hot. Hope everyone's having a great day. And streaming live on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy Ryback20. So I appreciate you guys checking out the show live on the live streams over there on those platforms. Always go over to Ryback TV over on YouTube, where we are also streaming live. We do your super chats. Your questions are answered. Super chats are regular questions. I'll get to them as I see them on there. I'll try to get to you guys a little bit on the stream if I see something that pops out. And Twitch at Ryback Rules and Twitter at Ryback. This podcast, this show is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, vegan friendly for men and women on feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20. That's RYBACKSHOW20 over on feedmemore.com. And check out my Feed Me More maximum size and strength workout program to get you going, to get you rocking and rolling. We got multiple workout programs and routines in there. A lot of information that is very valuable, I believe, and can help you become your all-time best. You can also sign up for my massive discount savings program with the email and text message program. The one message a week on the email newsletter and the text with a massive discount, not made available anywhere to anybody else online or here or there. And with that, guys, welcome to the show today. Hope everyone's doing good. Day off of weights. Did my 24-hour fast yesterday. I had a huge conditioning day today. Ended up doing 25 straight on level 9 with no hands on the Stairmaster, followed by a round of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off Tabata on Tabata, tomato on the assault bike, followed by 30 on the elliptical, then followed by 3 rounds of max level 25 for 30 seconds and 60 seconds on level 8 with hands, and then no hands for level 25 for 3 just quick rounds of just all out. And that got me. I was a little fatigued, not right after, but about an hour and a half after, which I don't normally get too fatigued, but I sweated because it's getting really hot here. So I lost a lot of fluids, and I ended up I went and got my coffee at Starbucks, and they were out of the large, the venti, so I had to get the grande, which also means large. And but I had a couple pickle spheres because they have a lot of sodium in them, and I think I just need a little extra sodium, and I feel fantastic now. So here we are, rocking and rolling. Pretty easy day. Saturdays, Sundays are definitely the more laid back days, and I enjoy Sunday a little more than Saturday because I'm not fasting. So it is, but I do my cardio and conditioning really early and get that out of the way with everything and get set up, get ready to hit Monday hard. I love Mondays. Sets the tone for the rest of the week, and go from there. But enjoyed the UFC fights last night. Watched UFC 274. I was a little disappointed when I saw Cowboy Cerrone. You can pronounce it multiple ways. When he was pulled, but he had food poisoning, and I've had food poisoning before. A few times my whole life, but about 6 years ago, I had it really bad, and I remember I talked about it on the show. The gas station sandwich. Always avoid the gas station sandwiches. It nearly took the big guy out. It was bad. Oh, it was horrible. I'll never forget it. The hotel room I had, because I had shows, I had to do appearances. And I did not think I was going to be able to do it. I was deathly ill. And I woke up, the bed, that's all I'm just going to say, the bed. It was bad. Oh, that gas station sandwich in New Jersey. I've never had a gas station sandwich since, and I never will. And I encourage you, don't let the gas station sandwich business go go bankrupt. They deserve it after what they did to me. All right, let's go. We got some super chats. Derek, is this Derek, the oil boy, is back? Ryback, can you make your pecs bounce, please? And thanks. Derek, you don't have to say thank you because I'm not going to be obliging on that one. I will not participate in that act. All right, Christopher Yao, good to see you, my man. Thank you for the super chat. Yo, big guy, what's up, brother? Thank you for all you do. Thank you, and you're welcome. And stay #hungry, stay freaking jacked. Much love. I hope everything's well on your end as well, Chris, and I appreciate all the love and support from all of you guys. And we are on a little early. I was debating. I have plans later, so I was either going to do an early afternoon show or wait a little bit. And with it being Mother's Day too and everything, I'm just today's show with whoever shows up. But usually the longer I record, I notice the more people that do come in. And obviously TikTok always does fantastic. But I appreciate you making a little time and coming in, Chris. Thank you as always. And just hanging and banging, staying freaking jacked. Congratulations, HB, on the PR of the bench press. I tell you, man, I really hope I can get my oh yeah, let's talk about this. I was going to say I really hope I can get my bench up. I've been going back and forth between doing different exercises, and my strength has improved, but bench and shoulder press are the two things that hit me the hardest with my shoulder injury, specifically because my lat had atrophied really bad. That I've gotten that all back, but it was because I used to be able to bench 550 was the most I ever did, and then after I got into wrestling, 500 was my next best, which was at Cena's gym, and so. And with wrestling and just beat up and just you go and it's just not the same. And I wasn't training for strength specifically. But I remember that hurt my shoulder a little bit. My shoulder was already messed up. That was before I had my first surgery on it. And that was kind of that first surgery was just never was the same after that. But and it was always fine. But the benches, I had a fantastic bench press, drug-free bench press, and those 2 times. And but it's an ego lift. You always want to be able to man, I'd like to be able to try to go do more than that at some point, but it may be one of those things. Even if my shoulder comes back and it's 85%, but I'm not in pain and I just avoid doing certain things, it's a win at the end of the day. But I'm so close. I just feel like I could. The amount of work I put in, I'm like, come on, God, give me 100, give me 100%. Just give me 100%. Just please, for 15 more years. What were my thoughts on the Cowboy said he ate tacos? Yeah, I saw that. I'd be curious. Well, they were in Arizona. I'm thinking it was in Vegas. It was in Arizona, but it just takes one place with something to go bad in the kitchen, and there's something to store something a day too long, and it's game over. What were my thoughts of let's go ahead and shell shock someone out of Ryback here. My thoughts on the Rose Carla fight. Yeah. So I'm one to I remember I paid for the fight with Francis and Derek Lewis, which also was very similar in the sense that both fighters were a little bit just hesitant of each other's power. And, it sucks that happened, but we're not in there. And I wish, maybe the referee, and I know the announcers were getting on him. The announcers really were Joe and DC, and they were letting their feelings be known pretty vocally out there, and rightfully so. But I wish they would have kind of egged them on to kind of get at it. And there were brief moments, right? Kind of a few, maybe. But whenever I see that when a fight starts off like that and they're hesitant, almost all the time that happens, they get going. They're feeling each other out. Often, other times fights just get right into it, right? But the quality of fights that you see on there, expectations are high, and you got to know that as a fighter as well. That if you, and again, I always say, like, with the crowd booing and stuff, you can't let them dictate how you're gonna. You don't want to change the game plan for them necessarily and start acting reckless and dangerous. But when that feeling out process kind of, anything more than a couple minutes, it's let's go. And but like I said, they both of those people have put on great fights before, right? So many times. Um, it was definitely not the highlight of the night, of everything, and I'm sure they will not pair those two up together ever again after that, with because it just wasn't there, unfortunately. And I thought it was gonna at different points, and I thought Rose was really gonna start going, because she had great defense on the wrestling and getting up every single time. It just didn't happen. But I tell you, the two things that made that, I always hate, like, when I pay for that, I'm like, man, $75. But then I think, I go, okay, I really want to see this fight, and I really want to see this fight. And if these UFC pay-per-views have two or three fights, and the fight was the other one I wanted to see, which obviously after I got it, they tell you after you buy it. Wish they would have said it prior, which wouldn't affect. I still would have got it. Wouldn't have affected anything. But the man, the Michael Chandler Tony Ferguson fight, that in the main event with Charles Oliveira and Justin Gaethje, man, they just incredible. I was really happy with both of those. And but then that Tony, the Ferguson knockout, taking that kick just right under the jaw, just punted him in the face. It has to be one of the most brutal things I've ever seen. Just absolutely, just just out. And I'm glad I saw they took him to the hospital just for precautionary reasons, and everything came back negative on the CT scan. But still, you get knocked out that brutally. I mean, he was out before he hit the mat, just which can leave you open to a lot of dangers, just falling, right. Um, it was difficult to watch, and I watched the replays. It's like, man, and he looked great the first round. I thought, but I tell you, Michael Chandler, to me, if he is just a spark plug, then, like, he is just like, he goes, and, like, it doesn't matter who. I thought he had Charles beat. I think everyone did that fight, and, like, I'd love to see that matchup again. But and I know he cut a hell of a promo after, and called out Conor, as did Charles. And I tell you, if Conor, and here's why I think it would be Conor if he does fight Oliveira, because here's the deal: if he continues to lose, he's losing to the top guys, right? So there's always that he's losing to the absolute best. But the stakes are like, the reward is so much bigger for him, that if he wins the title again, it's like such an amazing comeback story. But he's the guy where he's to me, he's the most polarizing guy, because he has so many people that hate him and so many people that love him, and he's made already. And, like, so these fights, it's like, why not just take the biggest fight, or the fight with that has the most significance for him? And he's earned that point where everyone knows that if they fight him, they are in the spotlight more so than any other time in their career. And just look at the guys that after they fight him don't ever have those same numbers, right? Nobody has. And so he is the draw. And that's a very, very rare thing, especially today. So I like, and I know some people always rank number 9 and anything, but if you're looking at him, and maybe it's not ideal with everything that happened, coming right back into that, but that's oftentimes what greatness entails, is you take these big, huge risks, and he's already made, right? So it's just, to me, it's, you're losing. If you lose to the champ, or you're the champion once again after this. And then, even then, people are going to say what they're going to say, but he takes those chances. And that, oftentimes, to have massive success in life, you have to put yourself out there and take these big chances at times. And he's clearly demonstrated that he's not afraid to do that. you know. But Charles is a beast. I wish Khabib was still around personally, and but I respect his decision, obviously, to stay retired, and I obviously has a love for coaching and whatnot. But that division is stacked, and or two, another thing I would like to see prior to Conor is the other guy that just won, Kamzat. I can't say is it Kamzat? The forgetting his first name. But I wouldn't mind seeing that fight with Charles, and then Conor would probably be ready at some point after that. And if Charles beats him, or if it's that guy, just let Conor just make it a huge return, because those numbers will probably do an all-time high once again, coming back after this huge layoff with the injury and whatnot. So, but I tell you too, in Conor's case, it is very. And I don't know, he's training, but you have a lot of money and you're living that life. He has a lot of toys. We see the pictures, what's the schedule? What's that man could be training from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 8 hours a day, just absolutely brutally just killing himself. Really, you know what I mean? We don't know. And then the rest of his day, and he puts some highlights and going to a party or doing this and that. And that's where it's really hard to judge, or is the guy partying all the time and sleeping in? Is he off? Is he as hungry as he once was? But that's what, those are the things we don't have specific answers on. But I think regardless, he trains at an extremely high level, and just that he is the guy that he's a draw to where people want to see him, and those guys are smart to want to fight him, obviously, because they're going to get the payday of their life. And if they beat him, if they can take that momentum and keep it going and keep winning, like if Dustin would have won the championship, he would have been even bigger. Unfortunately, didn't pan out that way with him, and it's a little bit of a restart again. But man, I enjoyed last night a lot, and I don't know who beats Charles but the strikers, to me, it's these strikers. Everyone's got him down, but no one's been able to keep him down, and which is testament to him and his ability to take a shot and get back up. But he has that where he goes just into the guard position, just on the ground, and nobody wants to toy with him down there. That's why Khabib would have been such a intriguing matchup to me to see that. Hello, good to see you guys. Let's see. Yes, I did come up. Did I come up with this shell shock? Yes, I did. Sean, we talked about that last show already. It's over. I don't even can care less, brother. Can care less. He doesn't know anything about the situation. So, and I don't even think he truly means that. So I'm not too worried. Regardless, he doesn't know the details, and we addressed that on the last Ryback show. If you want to go back and check that out. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Hello. Emmanuel says, do I remember my WWE debut against Barry Stevens? Just watched it. It was hilarious. I do. The one thing I always talk about that was everyone in Gorilla popped was when he said, was it Disney World, the happiest place on earth, not Earth. And that always, everyone, I'm like trying to be dead serious and everyone's laughing in Gorilla. And another thing I remember, and Barry Stevens, and that was his name for the night. There was actually in that match, I was grabbing guys by the face and doing the face plant, which I love doing that. And I had started doing that as Ryback in FCW. And we went over it with him, and I went over it with him multiple times prior. And I always gave the guys, I would push them back before I brought them down, so they know when we go back, you just got to take a face bump. And I believe we did one, and he didn't go well, and so we just picked him and did it again. So when we got the clean footage on it, and I remember because it was SmackDown, that was before we were live, and that was the only little, I guess if you want to call it a hiccup in the thing. And other than that, though, I thought he did well, and I was grateful for all those guys that because I'm brand new on TV as Ryback, and those guys are all on TV from a lot of them their first time ever, and you know, and it was hold on, it was just it was cool, but that had the potential to go bad with having multiple guys out there, and I think we even did three guys a couple times at like, and I didn't do the triple shell shock, but where I believe there were one or two times where it was 3-on-1. You got to structure those pretty well because you got a lot of bodies in the ring. Yeah, man, I don't really worry, like I said, about I just keep doing my thing. It doesn't help me at all getting caught up in individual little arguments with things. And I know the details of everything that's going on with my situation, the legal situation. I've been as transparent as possible with you guys. And what I did served its purpose 100%. And if there's ever a time in the future that I could explain a little more, I will. But and it is what it is, and it is it's no one else's business, and I did it publicly because it was publicly for him, and for what I wanted to serve its purpose for with that, and it is what it is. Everyone's going to have an opinion though, but nobody knows all the facts, and nobody's lived what I've had to live through with them. So, Italio Martins, Italo Martins. Thank you very much, buddy, for the super chat. I'm from Brazil. We love you, big guy. Thank you very much. I've always wanted to go to Brazil, and I truly love your women, and I want to come there and wrestle sometime at some point. uh, but yeah, I love Brazil. Thank you, Jonathan, for telling me you should return back to professional wrestling and go to AEW. Again, legal stuff, just trying to get this shoulder that needed to be replaced, doing something that's never been done before. The 5-disc fusion that I've got, my regrew 5-disc, I've like, it's pretty special. And I hope to be able to tell it on the right platform so people can really understand how cool all of this really is to be in the position that I'm in. But, don't worry. Don't worry. I've been pretty clear on what I want to do, and I do want to do some stuff here, and it's just got to get one thing done at a time. Jacked Swolson, Mr. Jacked Swolson says, fitness enthusiast. My motto is fitness is my job, and the work's never done. I can't disagree with you on that. That when you start weight training or whatever it is in a health and fitness journey, it is something that consistency is key, and it is something that we should do for the remainder of our lives. And that obviously is going to evolve and adjust as we get older, if we are fortunate enough to get older. Some people I think frown upon getting older, but when you take care of yourself, getting older, I think is because you just get wiser. And if you take care of yourself and like you don't lose anything, you stay active, you feel good, you're not in a lot of pain, right? Because you're making good decisions. If you're fortunate enough to do it the right way, right, and have that, and like as if you're a man and like you don't lose your sex drive, and like, because let's be honest, that'd be depressing. Like if that goes away, it's something, then you're just like what's my purpose? But like that, because that's really a big part of drive, and a lot of successful people as well, in energy and everything. But it's a whole package of taking care of yourself where when you get older, it's a very special, cool thing. But if you're hurt and you're depressed and feel horrible, then obviously then it's not as good of an experience. But like that's like I told you, I'll deal with people. I see someone there and they're like, you're 40, and like I told you, I'm like, and I was just in my 30s, and I look the same the last 10 years, and I feel better than I did in my 20s and 30s. So like, what does that mean? Does that mean I just like, in your idea, like what is I don't like, I truly can't relate to that at all. And that mindset, like, yeah, and eventually I'll be 41, I'll be 42, I'll be 43, I'll be 44, I'll be 50, I'll be 55, I'll be 60, and eventually I'll be 110 doing feeding time videos and people telling me to just go away already. and you know, and I'm gonna keep just doing my thing. I'm like, and what? What do you want me to do? Go check into the nursing home, the senior center? Come on, we're just having the time of my life here. Let's see what else do we got going on. Thank you, Jonathan. I've been very blessed to have great fans, and I hope once I get my social media reach back to normal, that we'll be able to even stay in better contact with all of you guys. Yeah, Flatline says, "Hey, yo, big guy, question: do you have anything in your line for joint pain? Give me your thoughts." Yes, check out our 1, 2, 3 muscle joint tendon formula on feedmemore.com. And again, you can save 20% discount code RYBACKSHOW20, RYBACKSHOW20 on that at the end of the checkout process. But that specific supplement is for joint pain, tendon strength, and muscle inflammation, and it is fantastic. And we have a lot of people that use it, that love it. My dad, who's not a big supplement guy, uses that one supplement from my brand. And my dad is like almost like just, I don't want to say he's anti-supplement because he takes a few things, but like he's not a big supplement guy with that. We're completely different in that regard. So that's always, which I just ordered him more. He's like, I'm just so you know, I'm almost out of that. And I was like, well, you could just go support your son and buy a couple bottles, Dad. But yeah, I'll get you a couple free ones. Don't worry. The big guy has your back. Stack those into a gift somehow. Let's see. Hello, hello. Let me see. Got question to super chat here. Jameer Malay says, "What is your dream match before you retire?" So I do not have dream like I think dream program. You want a dream program. Dream matches that do not exist in my mind. Like I've told you guys, like I don't at any point in time like, God, I wish I can get into the ring and grapple with him. Like my brain does not work the way that I think some of you wrestling fans, the way that your brains work, right? And not saying you're right or wrong. We all just like different things. And I love pro wrestling. I love wrestling and entertainment. And I believe I love entertainment. And I love that aspect of WWF and WWE and WCW growing up, along with the physicality and the adrenaline and that and making things make sense with that. But like I don't ever get in there and be like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get in the ring and just let me Kenny Omega chop my chest back and forth over and over and back and forth over and over, just chop each other for 60 minutes. God, I just can't go to bed at night. I'm thinking constantly about just grappling with this, just our bodies in the ring and just glistening with sweat and throwing each other all over. Can he hit me with his finisher? Can I hit him with shell shock? Like, no, guys, don't think like I go, what would be a dream program? And to answer your question, there's multiple. And I want to do a lot of things with that. I do think a great program that was built in from day one is Ryback versus Goldberg. And I think that is something I could really sink my teeth into and have a lot of fun. And I've told you guys I believe I would embrace the role that I believe I could play to a T in that. And I think that would be great. And there's multiple others, but that's just one that because it's built in, it's automatically built in. And but yeah, I'm not like thinking like, man, I can't wait to get me and Bill in the ring with our shirts off and me in the singlet and him in his trunks. God, can't wait to lock just two big bulls locking horns in the ring, put together a bunch of cool spots for everybody. God, it has to have the story and the meaning, and then you build everything around that. And that's how you draw money in pro wrestling. Now, hey, let's get two guys and throw a cold matchup out there and watch the ratings tank. And not anything I'm in, but that formula does not work. And it's proven not to work throughout the history of pro wrestling. All right, what do we got? Italo Martins. I keep wanting to say Martins. You look more like AEW. WWE is a show for kid today. Everyone's going to have their own opinions on everything, and I'm not. I don't. I do watch both programs. Raheem, thank you very much, buddy. Raheem has told me to retire. I really appreciate you swinging by my channel to tell a guy who is not wrestling currently to retire. But it's not happening, Raheem. And I'll probably never retire. I'll probably, even when I'm officially done after everything, I'll probably be the only wrestler never to retire. I'll hold on to it until the day that I'm gone and never officially retire, just to keep it from people like you, Raheem. That I'm that committed. I am that committed to that portion of you, just to be that petty. I am that petty, Raheem, where I will never announce my retirement. Do you understand, you dirty, filthy little Mark? Oh man, it's Sunday, Mother's Day. I think I'm gonna go out and wait, just hang around YouTube. I hate Ryback. I can't wait for him to stream, go live, and tell him to retire. Like, is that what goes through your head, or like, are you like online and got like 30 screens opened on tabs open on your computer, and you got Frito chili cheese Fritos in one hand, you've got a big Mountain Dew Baja Blast in the other, thing of nachos in front of you as well. Just ate $30 worth of Taco Bell. You've got food stains everywhere. You're in your whitey tighties and you're like, oh, Ryback's on, I'm gonna go tell him to retire. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing. Thank you for your super chat, but we don't put up negative things like that. But I appreciate your money, and you've been blocked. If you do, you guys are more entitled to leave a negative super chat, and it's just not going to get answered with that. If I think you're being extremely disrespectful like that, we just collect the money and we shell shock you out of Rybackville. Thank you for paying the toll. Okay, I don't know why you're obsessed with this gyno with Jinder Mahal, but maybe I don't know. Just let it go. I think you'd be better served not worrying about another man's chest, personally. Oh yeah, that would be definitely a mukbang with Goldberg. That's money. Get us in a get us would get do a feeding time with Goldberg. That would be after the program. We make up and we do a feeding time, or that's the beginning of the program, and it goes sour at some point in there during the feeding time. Slam a vegan burger in his face, squirt ketchup and mustard on him like I did corporate Kane. There we go. Money, printing money. Easy. There's no production cost. You just use my iPhone and my 4K camera. We get the footage and we blow that up on the Titantron or whatever Titantron we want to put it on. Printing money all day long. Put some dramatic music in there with the ketchup and mustard, double fisting them, squirting them with it after the burger's in his face and blinds him. God, put me on the writing team. I don't think any of you guys, I do not worry about what any of you think about the chances are of wrestling with anything. I give zero thought to any of that. You guys have no idea the way things work and what is really going on. And by the way, that one person knows exactly what he has done. And I know the facts and he knows the facts. So all is fair in love and war, right? So don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. I do you think I can't, I'm not saying anything more on it. Just worry about yourselves. Everything is fine. We're gonna put you in time. No, we're gonna block you because you're spamming. You've been kicked out of Rybackville. We will not answer you. Guys, I really appreciate loving normal people. No, Steve asked, have I tried the new Flaming Mountain Dew? I have not. And I won't be. That stuff is filled with the artificial sweeteners and colors, and again, just doing it the one time and taking a few sips, end of the world, probably not. I just don't want to even put it in my body. And I don't want to even promote it after and put that in like other people see it, because a lot of people do drink that stuff. And I try not to say, and I did the flaming hot Cheeto thing a couple years ago, and even on that, it's like, I'm just doing that for a video, and it's not like a regular everyday thing. And it was my meal of the cheat meal for the week, right? And but still, people watch that, and then they're like, "Oh, it's okay to eat like that because Ryback eats like that, or so and so eats like that." And that's the one negative. It's like, well, look, I know you see, if you watch my channel, you're seeing my cheat meal every week. You're not seeing the salads I'm eating and vegetables I'm eating every other meal, right? The vegan protein shake, the ISO hungry shake that I'm eating. That like you don't because I'm not, that's not what I'm putting on there with that. But so that's kind of my mindset with that is, and I try just not to say that I'll never not do something, but I just don't, that I have no interest in. Thank you for ever. We've got some people in here on TikTok. Appreciate you guys watching on IG. Actually got a few people in here. I appreciate it. Hello, hello. Uh, Forgotten MMA. Check out our Shell Shock weight management formula. Absolutely fantastic for weight loss. It is our #1 bestseller 5 years in a row. I promise you, you will love it. It is amazing. There's a money back guarantee on the supplements on feedmemore.com. You will not be disappointed. But obviously, and check out our BMR calculator. It's on the homepage as well. If you scroll down, plug in your information, and it will tell you how many calories you should be consuming a day to maintain your weight, to lose weight, or if you want to gain weight when you plug in the correct information. I loved Bam Bam Bigelow as a kid. I loved him in Major Pain when he made the cameo in Major Pain. But I loved Bam Bam Bigelow. He always stood out to me, and I named my dog Pebbles and Bam Bam. But Bam Bam, when we got after Pebbles, Pebbles was named from the Flintstones. But Bam Bam, I wanted because I loved Bam Bam Bigelow, but also because it made sense for Pebbles and Bam Bam with that. And those were my childhood dogs. Hello, hello. I should have, my damn studio lights are hitting me. I turned it a little bit and it's not at a good angle. When I do that, it makes reading the screen a million times not difficult, but the light, it blinds my eyes. Super chat, Michael Moranti. Good to see you again, buddy. Do you like CrossFit? Is it a waste of money if I want to build muscle along the cardio? So, and again, this is what, and I talk about this in my Feed Me More maximum strength and size program. I'm a big believer in, to build maximum muscle, you have to train a specific way. And then and to do your cardio and do your conditioning, you do it separately. Now, again, unless you are specifically competing in CrossFit and making money doing it, in my opinion, it does not make sense to train that way unless you just absolutely love it. But if your priority is to be as big and strong and jacked and lean as possible, separating those two things will allow you to do all of that. And your endurance can be even better with that. Now, and again, those people, there's nothing wrong with it, but it is not ideal for packing on maximum muscle, and it is more dangerous for the majority of people because your form is breaking down with decent amounts of weight on particular lifts. And when you're going through things, because whenever you mix fatigue with anything past your body weight, even when you are doing with your body weight, it increases your chance, your risk for injury with that. And it just all depends on what your goals are. And I think I go, for me, in anything I've ever done, that does not, it just does not apply. But some people just absolutely love that training. They don't train a certain way they're not concerned with putting on maximum muscle. and it's just that's their mindset with it. I don't hate it at all. I take elements out of that and have incorporated it, but into different things and conditioning routines without the weights with that. But It's I believe in separating your weight training and your conditioning as much as possible. Yep, I loved Vader and Yokozuna. I loved man, I loved everybody as a kid. You're never going to hear me say I hated so and so. Like I loved all wrestlers growing up. I just thought it was the most amazing thing in the world. Do I think you would ever do a long water fast, like 2 to 3 weeks? Real healing and health benefits. No, and I don't know if I could. I hate to say that I don't to say that I don't know or don't think I could ever do that. Um, I've never. I've from the Phoenix method. There's a dry fast where they recommend 5 to 7 days, and there's extreme health benefits with that. But even that, you got to be very careful. Water fasting is safer on that end, but you have to be very careful. My longest fast is 72 hours. I've not been able to go past that, and with my schedule, like the ideal thing to do on a fast like that is to like you ideally want to like not be probably you want to like not have anything to do, and unfortunately, that's just not the you know I could maybe do another 2 or 3 days and adjust some things and but I do a 24-hour fast once a week right now, and that works with my schedule and with what I got going on. But I don't disagree with you that I've never seen or heard of doing a fast that long outside of somebody that was severely overweight. Um, and I think that would be more dangerous trying to do that unless that was built up appropriately. Like, hey, I've done a 3 day fast. I've done another 3 day fast. Now I'm going to try a 5 day fast. But doing those, you don't want to do those two. They don't recommend doing those more than a couple times a year, maybe three at most, when you do the prolonged fasting. So, and I'm sure other people have different takes on it, but it's um, yeah, I've not thought about that one bit. But I do want to try at some point to break a 72-hour fast. That is something that is on my radar at some point in time. Take care, Liam. Thank you for swinging in. Appreciate it. We're gonna. There's some crazy people out there. Super chat. The fives question mark AR or yep or OR. Who played the greatest heel of all time in your opinion, both promos and in ring ability? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I've told you guys I'm not really big on specifically saying like just narrowing things down to one person and saying they were the best of all time of things. Like I think there's so many people that are great in different ways and people that are great for longer periods of time and people that are great for shorter periods of time. And um, I'm just trying to think who would I consider one of the greatest heels of all time. I don't know. I really don't know. In the modern era, I think it's more difficult because there's so many people. I think it's actually could be easier now if you embrace social and really do things a certain way. Like MJF does a decent job, but everyone, I feel like it knows he's kind of playing a part, right? But he does it really well, and it is everyone's playing a part. But I think if you could blur those lines as much as possible, that really there's potential to do some really great things on that side for some people. But of all time, I honestly don't know. I don't know who to tell you off the top of my head. Nothing's coming to me. If it comes to me, I'll try to get an answer of some sorts here. And I know a lot of people like in the modern era, Miz is always talked about. I think Miz does a good job of playing a heel. Um, I really want to have an answer for you though. Just trying to think and going back through who I watched growing up and who, you know, I need time to think about this. What is your Talio Martins? Thank you again, buddy, for the super chat. What is your dream opponent if you return? We just talked about that with the dream program. I don't think I have a dream opponent. I just there's a lot of people out there, and I can't. It's not narrowed down. I have things that I want to do now, and I got to just keep it to myself. But I have some things that I really would like to do that I think could be really cool overall in pro wrestling. And I will say, I do think it would be really cool to not be with one promotion for a long time, and not even. I think it would be cool to be able to bounce from promotion to promotion. Personally, I don't think that's something we've not seen people do. I own my brand. I own everything, and I really think that there's the potential to do some really cool things, and I've got some things written down, but we'll see. That's again, get the legal stuff out of the way, and then that will open up the next chapter. Drexify wears the singlet. They're all upstairs in the laundry room, not wearing it for the podcast. And I know, I like to throw it on and just go drive around Vegas, and just let people know I'm still here. I like to wear it and go walk down the strip, and they get really mad when people recognize me and berate them for recognizing me. Okay, thank you very much. I thank you guys for the 400,000 subscribers. I really hope we can continue to grow this channel. Things are very frustrating overall on the social media end for me with everything going on. $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, absolutely, he was great. I've not met DJ Pauly in Vegas. I didn't even know who that was until I saw something pop up on social. I feel like that question's been asked on here before, and I don't like. I might have heard the name at some point in time, but I'm not familiar with that. Hello, hello. Shell shock another person out of here. Do I ever think, Sean says, have you ever thought about getting another French bulldog? Little guy's birthday is actually coming up, and he's a Boston Terrier. His birthday's coming up here middle of the month, and I got to go get them their cake, the doggy cake and treats. They both celebrate each other's birthdays, obviously. Sophie will be 7. I always celebrate it in October, but her birthday is November 24th. But I've always just celebrated it on Halloween, call her a little Halloween baby. But at some point, I'm sure, just with everything now and what's happened with Sophie, though, and it's really restricted my life in a lot of ways, and nothing negative. But I make all my decisions based off of my dogs, in keeping her alive, and she's doing amazing, and she's happy and healthy. But it's like having a sick child, as far as in the sense, and it's even more difficult because she can't be checked into places. You got to be her disc can go at any time. It's very, she just ruptured one a couple weeks ago going to the bathroom outside, and then we got lucky it didn't bruise her spinal cord. She was literally completely fine that night. I don't know how. That's happened 2 times in this process. And then there's other times, 8 times she needs to go get surgery, and 2 times she was paralyzed. And so I just, right now, I'm not thinking about getting another dog right now, but in the future we'll see. And just because it limits my traveling, and I can't be away for periods of time. And if I do, I got to be in and out really quick. And it's so. Is there anyone in the professional wrestling business that likes you? Yeah. If you go look at a lot of the wrestlers that follow me on social media and the different ones, and I get along with pretty much everybody, and even the people that what the two or three, I always got along great with all of them. So, I'm not too worried. I tend to I have a I get along with people. Pretty likable guy. But if you want to believe lies and negativity, which unfortunately some of them get caught up in believing and on things, and it is what it is. But I'm not too worried because I know who and what I am, and I know the truth at the end of the day. So, and the truth always wins. And I'm not afraid of confrontation. And if anybody ever wants to have a conversation with me and understand things a little better, I'm more than happy with any of that. And I've done everything I've had to do with what particular person and company are doing, and I'm very proud. I'm proud of what I've done and what I've overcome. I don't think there's another person that could have done it, quite frankly. And I think that's why I've had given the ability to get my health back and had some things happen to me and that put me in this position, because I think a lot of things it's going to continue when I win that trademark. It's a very big positive for pro wrestlers, and they don't. That's why they want certain things being signed, and it's really cool what's happening right now. But I don't know what some of you. We get some real psychos in here. Super chat. The fives 7 AR. I'll give you an easier one then on the heel question. LOL. This channel rocks. What is the hottest pepper sauce you've tried so far? Um, there was a It was one of the Mad Dog. I want to say it was one of the Mad Dog 357, and there's multiple ones on that. And I remember I did it on the channel. That was probably the hottest. I remember one of those sauces was just absolutely insane, but the Scoville units on it was not as high as other ones I've done. But for some reason, that sauce, it was one of the Mad Dog 357s. And I've got way hotter ones. I've got a whole box full. I've got 2 boxes full of all sorts of insane hot stuff that people have sent me and other companies. I've got the Mad Dog or the Plutonium. Is it Mad Dog Plutonium #9? That was always the one I wanted to do, and I never did. And I don't think I told you guys. I'm just Nothing about it excites me. And that the tube of tear peanuts were the hottest thing I've ever done in the hot tub. And that nearly took me out. That was 6 or 7 hours of pure hell in my house. And I can't, and I say pure hell, I'm talking that would be the pure torture. If you had an enemy and wanted to torture them, you just make them eat that death nut, the tube of tear, Johnny Scoville, which he has another one out, and I'm just like, but I did it in the hot tub and didn't eat before it, and it was not a good idea. And I got through the video fine. It was moments after I got done recording. I drank probably 10 or 11 bottles of water, ice cold bottle of water, ice cubes, and then the internal pain kicked in of and that was probably, like I said, 6 hours straight of horrific pain not going away, then going away for a short period of time, and then coming back even worse. And I would not wish that on anyone. And I've had that same pain multiple times, but never as bad as that, and never as long. But that Mad Dog 357, it was I can't it was it's on the channel. It was one of those. It was bad. And then I've done sauces that were hotter, that were supposed to be hotter, that didn't bother me, not hardly at all. So let's see here. Yeah, no, the Tyson Fury Francis fight, obviously Nagano, I think that's a huge payday, but I think, and I understand Francis wanting to do that, but I mean, I think that's a huge risk for him to taking that fight. Where you're talking Tyson, and you've seen what's happened with fighters that go in there MMA guys that go in there with the boxers, which makes what Connor did so much more special with Floyd, right? But still, whatever he chooses to do, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. But it's the same. It's like we haven't seen really a boxer, go do the MMA thing, and which would be I would rather see that personally because he could still strike, right, and everything. But to limit, an MMA guy to just striking when these guys are so skilled in that area, it's I don't know, but I'll definitely pay to watch that one. Do I think a wrestler can have a higher peak than Stone Cold? I think anything's possible, but I think he is that. And I don't know the specifics on numbers or anything, but it's supposedly much higher than anyone else ever, right? So again, a lot of things would have to go right. But here's what I'm going to tell you, and I've talked about this on the show before. Vince, in that time, WWE with WCW, their backs were up against the wall. Vince had to allow guys to go out there and get as over as possible and not sabotage it. And his business model has changed. And he's had to do that multiple times. And the multiple times he's done that is when the biggest names in wrestling have happened. And I do believe we would have continued to have big, huge names up there with that if people's legs were not cut out from under them. But the business model has changed, and he doesn't have a need for that with that. And so that is where where things have changed, and it's possible in AEW if they do things correctly with some certain people, that if people can get hot enough and they have enough long-term protection, that you never know. But I don't know if that ever happens in WWE again, unless it's sold. But even if it's sold and it is sold to a company like Disney, are they just going to kind of adopt the same model, right? Who's to say? I don't know. But maybe the biggest star in the future, it just doesn't look like what that looked like. Does that make it's not a guy that's there 5 days a week? Maybe it's something different and we don't know about yet. Possible. Hello, hello. Hezbollah. That guy's entertaining. Thank you, Patrick, for the kind words. Luis is from Mexico. That's good to know. When I become a wrestler, I want to come out pouring hot sauce on everybody's face. Ha ha ha. Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one. You can have some gimmick hot sauce, and that's like your Mr. Fuji powder. But I don't think you want to have real hot sauce. That is, I thought about that. If you have like somebody breaks into your home, you just rub that Mad Dog plutonium number 9 in their eyes. Game over. Nothing else you have to do other than go wash your hands while they're screaming and crying in pain, probably running into the walls. Ecuador, what's going on? Welcome to the Ryback Show. Let's see. Let's take we have a question on TikTok. Do I miss the road? I happen to just see a great question. I don't miss being on the road full time. I think that is a life of just pure torture and hell that I would not wish on anyone. And I don't think it. I do miss traveling to certain places. Because I do like going places. I just don't have good memories of being on the road because I was always hurt. I had my ankle injury and my back and shoulder, and it was don't get me wrong, and it was just you do it and you do it and like I don't have to do it ever again. So I don't want to ever do it ever again with that. But I do want to travel again and go places. I just don't want to be on the road for weeks at a time or 5 days on a time. And I've built up to a position I don't have to. So did I miss a super chat here? Yep. The Live 7AR, who is your favorite Attitude Era tag team? My friends and I consistently debate this. I always take the Hardys over Edge and Christian and the Dudleys. Um, all great tag teams you've just listed. And I grew up watching all of those guys. I always, man, and again, in Steiner Brothers were in WCW. I always liked them. And that wasn't in the Attitude Era. That I always liked. I liked Harlem Heat growing up as well. With that, I loved Hall and Nash together. But obviously, if we're just talking WWE, I always enjoyed the New Age Outlaws. I know I'm missing. There were the APA were always really cool to watch, always kicking ass. But I'm not like I don't really give a damn about like the high spot stuff. I really never. I don't. It's cool here and there, but like I'm not like I never like when I was growing up, and I know they did like the ladder match and everything. I never was like I didn't realize that they like that there were people that were like into that. I wasn't aware of it. It was not, and I didn't hate it or anything. It was all cool and fine, but I just didn't. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to think. I know I feel like I'm forgetting a team in WWE, a tag team I really liked. I'd have to like again. I'd have to go back and see. I honestly, man, outside of the teams I named, I don't know. Legion of Doom, absolutely. Hey, Ryback, does creatine timing matter? Any specific time during the day when it's best to take it? I take up the 10 count creatine that we have with Feed Me More Nutrition. Stack that with my pump plexity because we have in the 10 count creatine, it has glycer pump inside of it, in it, which is great for enhancing the pump along with the non-stimulant pre-workout pump formula, Pump Plexity. So I typically take 2 scoops of creatine with my Pump Plexity pre-workout and drink it as I'm working out as well. Or I'll eventually drink it in the beginning, first quarter, and then leave just a little bit of it and then fill some more water up in it and try to make that last to the end of the workout with that. If I do that with that, that's to me the best time with it going right into training because with our formula that has the glycer pump in it to get the benefits of the glycer pump. I liked the headbangers actually too. I remember loving the headbangers. I loved everything, man. There wasn't. I was very easygoing. I never was. I told you guys this before. I didn't grow up like hating people. Like it wasn't just. It just wasn't anything. It wasn't normal to me. Just worry about what you put in your body, and we're going to shell shock you out of Rybackville. Go to some other channel and leave silly questions. Hello, hello. My day has been fantastic. Thank you very much. What's my favorite hotel in Vegas? I don't know, guys. A lot of favorite questions today. The oddities. I like the oddities too. The oddities were Insane Clown Posse just reminded me of the oddities. Did I think Stone Cold looked great at Mania? Absolutely. I don't know what kind of like physically, what is he, 57 or around that range? And obviously he wrestled in a shirt. I don't know. I didn't see, but his arms and everything he looked to be in good shape from everything I saw. I had no issues with anything. I thought it was probably my favorite thing during all of WrestleMania. That and the Johnny Knoxville and Sami Zayn match are the two things. And I will say the Pat McAfee match and stuff with Vince and all that. Those are the 3 things that I thought stood out the most at WrestleMania. from a memorable standpoint. I don't worry, Gabriella, anything about that promotion as far as what that's their business, how they handle it. And, you know, I feel like the majority of you guys, and not saying you're doing this, just fish for clickbait BS. And I'm not getting caught up in it. None of my business with what they're doing over there. I appreciate you watching a video of me eating chips for 10 hours. I would wish and hope you did more with your time other than that, but you know, it's your time. Too Cool. I love Too Cool. Another great team. All right, guys. With that, we're going to wrap up today's show. I got to get going here. I just wanted to get on today. I appreciate the love and support as always. I got another feeding time video. I've got a new spot. I'm going to be checking out a Black and Blue Diner, which isn't far from where I grew up in Vegas, not too far. I'll be going out doing a feeding time video tomorrow to hopefully be up for Tuesday on TV, on Ryback TV here. So check that out Tuesday morning, usually 9 a.m. Pacific time live. That goes live. We premiere that. With that, and check out my Feed Me More nutrition supplement line over on feedmemore.com. Save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20. You can check out my Ryback workout program on there as well. And we've got the BMR calculator to, if you need help tracking your calories, figuring out how many you need to lose weight, gain weight, to maintain your weight. That is a fantastic tool that is free, available on feedmemore.com for you guys as well. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day once again to all the mothers out there, guys. And until next time, stay hungry. Feed me more.